So, a quick video because I do want to cook my dinner, steak and some foie gras, but because the foie gras gets cooked so quickly, I'm going to wait to make it after this video is over. So, tonight pairing with steak. So, I talked about when I got this wine, Carlisle's Alicante Bouschet. Don't see this very often, where this red-fleshed grape is also used to make a wine 100%, well, I think it's 100% Alicante Bouschet from this Pagani Ranch. This is 2019. I have a number of these bottles. This wine pours like engine oil. 95 cases, very, very small production. Only been decanting it for a little bit here, so even when I poured it, I mean, it is so dark. Such a dark wine. And I just remember it tasting nothing short of amazing. I think as it opened up as well, it just smells like blackberry pudding right now. Blackberry pudding with a hint of some baking spice. And it hasn't been open that long. A little bit of baking spice in it today. I don't remember if that was there last time. So what I also did get today, and I talked about this, but I got the bottles, is, so this is Guiberteau, Domaine Guiberteau, and from Saumur, Loire. He supposedly makes some of the best Chenin Blancs and Cab Francs in the world, really. Gosh, does that say 12.5%? So this is his top-of-the-line Cab Franc, L'Arboise, Monopole from Brézé, and I think this one gets some of the most oak treatment, some of the older vines, and I only poured this much. I have another bottle as well. I don't plan on drinking any more of this than now, and I'm going to put it away, just Corvin some of it, siphon some of it out. But what I do want to do one day is do a Cab Franc comparison, because I have a number of Cab Francs after I get one from Working Dog, the Retriever, which I really like. So that, maybe a Cab Franc tasting would be a lot of fun. So there's a Dusty Cherry, which I get often, very often, in Cab Franc. This is going to open up more. I'm not going to do this justice. I'm going to let this sit. I could tell it's going to open up more, because even just swirling like that changed the whole profile. Some ripe strawberry. Smells awesome. It's got an amazing aroma. A touch of some green pepper, green bell pepper, but just a little bit. Just a little bit, which is pretty typical of Cab Franc. Say definitely a darker version. I mean, it's not going to compare to the engine oil that I have to the left here in the Alicante Bouschet from Carlisle, but I'm just going to taste it real quick. Great acidity, great length, very high acid. Acidity is very high for red. And strawberry, raspberry. No green pepper on the palate. A little bit of spice, floral. It's a great wine. It's a great Cab Franc. On the nose, I smell more Cab Franc than I do on the palate. Taste on the palate. Really great wine. A little bit of sour, slightly underripe sour fruit, but very, very slight on the palate. Oh, go amazing with food. Still very, very young. I think this wine needs some time. Good tannin as well. It needs time. It's a great wine, though. It's a great wine. One of the better Cab Francs I've probably ever had, so that's kind of what I wanted to try. One of the best producers of Cab Franc. It sort of stands to it. I wasn't sure what to think. I think it's going to want to let it age more in bottle, as well as let this glass sit. Now, totally different animal here. This also, though, Alcohol is not above 15. It's close, but not above 15. It's a monster. It's so big. Only with steak. I mean, honestly, such a big wine. Mouth coating, blackberry pudding. Definitely some baking spice in there today. Touch of black pepper. It's really good. Needs more time too, though. I think both of these need to open up. They're both very, very young. 2019, 2018. These are babies. These are babies for what they are. So, I'm going to go cook my steak now. If there's anything worth mentioning on these wines later, I absolutely will. I always like doing an update at some of these wines. I think the Alicante Bouschet, the first time I had it over like 3 nights, and it was just, I think it was even, I loved it night 1, but I remember night 2 was even better. This Guiberteau, this is all I'm going to have, just this glass tonight. Maybe I'll have it after my steak with a little bit of cheese. I think it'll be harmonious with the cheese, the fat of the cheese, the acidity of this red. Acid and cheese go really well. Acid and fat go really well. Acid cuts through that fat. It's a little bit of volatile. There's a little, I don't know, I say that like it's a negative thing. A touch of like a balsamic vinegar character in here as well. It's a delicious wine, though. Just has that deliciousness to it. There's an elegance here, and then this is just like a deliciousness. Both extremely long, both extremely different wines. I mean, there's no comparison here. I'm not trying to compare these two wines. I was just excited to try the Guiberteau. I've been waiting. It's one on my list of wines to try for a long time. So, all right, I'm gonna go cook my dinner. Have a good night.